Hello there and welcome to another video. Today we'll be trying to organise my display and give a bit of space for any sets I get over Christmas and in the new year, as I'm definitely looking at picking up quite a few sets. Now, it's not always the easiest thing when you're trying to organise Lego, and anyone who's collected Lego out there, and if you have more than a few sets, you'll know it takes up quite a bit of space. So many little builds I have are taking up so much space when they really don't need to, and at some point I would like to have a much more efficient way. I'm sure today is not going to be the last time I ever sort my Lego, but I've cleaned up my face. I think it's time to clear up my displays because there's just all the mechs lying in the back, which does look quite nice, but I like to get a bit more of sets with height onto my shelves. So I might have to discover some smaller shelves for all my little mock builds because they're just taking up so much space and nothing's being put above them. So we'll take a look at that. I'm also going to show off just behind me. Nothing's really changed much, but it's just good to keep you updated with where we're at with the 4 displays. Obviously, we've got Minecraft, which hopefully will start to branch out in the new year, put some sets around and mock up some buildings. Harry Potter is pretty much unchanged. That is my fiance section, so she's happy with that, and that is all that matters. We then have Star Wars just behind me. I have blocked up the Advent. There'll be no spoilers. Obviously, we've already opened 12 days of them by the time this video comes out, so I won't be spoiling the first 11. And I've also got my city just below, which if you missed my last city update, you want to stay around for that. So I guess that is all. Let's get straight into my sorted display. Well, somewhat sorted display. So hopefully you can still hear me. My mic is still down on my desk, so I might just have to turn you up a bit. But as you can see, compared to what my displays were like beforehand, where all the mechs were at the back, this is a bit better of a storage solution. I have all my mechs onto the right corner here, and hopefully I can add a few more bigger MOCs over time, especially as I start building, and perhaps I'll have to mix these around with the bigger sets that are on the next shelf. But I do have some space, so I can mock out a few of the sets in the new year, and you can see already here I've got my new Battle Pack mock, my original mock, and then my mock based on the instructions that come with the set. So if you haven't seen that video, do be sure to check it out. And chances are, especially when it comes to this bottom shelf here, all of these have their own videos. So if you're interested in any of them, head over to my channel, and there's only a few months worth of videos, which might sound like a lot, but hopefully compared to next year, it is only just the beginning. So you'll find all these videos on my channel. Most of these are actually rebrickable models that I also sell the instructions for. Once again, I'll leave the link top of the description if you're interested. We then move up to the next shelf. You can see there are the minifigure displays, both back right and back left, but we'll get there in a second. As we start off with the Boba Fett helmet, it'd be really nice to pick up the Rex one before it goes out, but so far I only picked up the Boba one. I wasn't really too interested in them, so it's not too big of a disappointment to see them go. We also have Yoda's new Starfighter. Again, I mocked that one out using my own pieces, and Anakin's Interceptor, which is pretty cool. A few different minifigures and collectible series in there. You can see you've got the Looney Tunes, you've also got a few Disney and DC, Simpsons, and right at the bottom are all my Marvel minifigures. So sorry for the glare, but hopefully you saw a few of them. You've also got all the classic space minifigures up top. You've got the Fortnite llama. I've got a video coming out tomorrow about the new Lego Fortnite mode. It is so good, and I just want to cover it for the channel. Perhaps I'll even start a series. And then my minifigures of me and my fiance that we've created right next to my only piece of Lego Mario. We've also got the Marauder, the ATT, and it'd be really cool at some point to get rid of them 2 minifigure displays and add just a whole Clone Wars battle on this shelf. That is my dream for next year, I guess. So the battle pack will help to make it possible. Perhaps I can even put the Jedi ships over top. And we also have the fighter tank to go alongside it. This is Lego's, well, one of Lego's only minifigure scale ships, Anakin's Pod Racer, which was released for 20 years of Lego Star Wars. So now we've got to 25 years next year. Oh, very interesting to see what other models they have in store. And I also have an Old Republic Jedi ship, which is one of the older sets. I think it's one of 3 Old Republic sets that were made next to the wand. And we have all our brickheads on top, including the wintertime polar bears. I keep calling them fun time polar bears, but I don't know where I get that from. And these are all my fiance's other Harry Potter minifigures. They've actually just released a light tan version of this case. This is the blue one, and I've got the red one over the side, because originally it was my good and evil Star Wars characters, but they've actually just released an official Harry Potter one. These are both official acrylic Lego stands, but now they've got an official Harry Potter one. I mean, I won't be too interested in picking it up, but it's just nice to know if we need another one, because that's looking pretty full as it is. Now, above this shelf we have a few of the bigger bricks, and you can see the top left is all my fiance sets. You got Beedie, Hedwig, Dobby, and a little glimpse of Jyn Erso at the back. That's honestly one of the worst sets we've ever seen, and that's why I picked it up for my fiance. So she's just hanging out in the back behind the up house, all looking pretty cool up there. We've also got my custom Slave 1, which is Jango's ship, from when he owned the Firespray 31 class before Boba Fett. We've then got the TIE Fighter from all the way back to 2012, along with the new TIE Fighter that I've turned into a TIE Interceptor. And they are next to a custom A-Wing, which is made to be one stud off minifigure scale, and also Luke's Red 5 X-Wing. And you can see there's even a little pilot stood there that should perhaps be flying the A-Wing. So they are my 3 shelves. That's the majority of my Lego that I've got on display, but I've also got all these units here, which you've seen, they're their own video. I'm not going to cover them too much. I've got so many bricks sorted, and I wonder if between videos you can see which bricks I've used based on which bricks are no longer ordered. But again, as I said, no spoilers for the advent calendar, but this is sort of my Star Wars display come the new year, especially with that new battle pack. There are going to be some MOCs here, I promise you there will be MOCs on the side here. And I've also got most of my Lego Star Wars minifigures. There was a few, like my custom 2013 exclusive Yoda with the New York Eye heart torso that were on my previous display, and some of the minifigures you can see are missing, dotted around, because they're on either MOCs that I've built or dioramas that I have created. We'll get to them in a second. They're right next to my desk, but right next to that we then have the Harry Potter display, which once again is mostly my fiance set. In fact, I don't think I own any of these Harry Potter sets. We have somewhat built custom rooms for the Hogwarts here. You can see Homer's in a custom room of requirement that I've made, and I think there's a few littler ones towards the back, just to allow them to fit in with the rest of the modular buildings. And honestly, I love this structure. I am actually working, hopefully I'll finish it in the next few days, on building a Star Wars version of this. I'm not quite sure what I'd want the exterior to look like yet, so it doesn't actually have an exterior, but just building a bunch of different throne rooms in the style of this modular. I really like it and would love to see it in Star Wars. I did a Boba Fett Palace version quite some time ago now, but I think if we got some rooms like this, just some iconic Star Wars scenes, and we're able to stack them, it's really cool. It reminds me of how you can stack the Funko boxes and use up more of that vertical space rather than spreading it out over a surface. Now, below Harry Potter, yeah, it's a work in progress. It's I like to say it's getting there, but really it hasn't changed. I think that tree is the only thing I've built since you last saw it, and you probably haven't seen it for a month. In the new year, I promise we'll get work on this section. I mean, there's a really nice nether set that's come out with a much improved nether hog compared to the first one we got. So I'm definitely going to have to pick up a few more Minecraft sets. We have so many bricks to add to there, but that is right next to my Lego City, and look at that. That looks absolutely amazing. I mean, compared to how it started a few months ago, we've got a complete Lego tower with a Lego store behind this Christmas tree, which you'll see more of in the next video. We've also got this sort of animal tower with the sea life at the bottom. We've then got the giant fish tank, and I'm working on putting together the rooftop farm that is going to back up to Lo-Fi Girls flat. We've got all these rocks as well. I've added the Dreams monster just on the cliff work here as it clears up the road, and these bikes are actually being held up by all the carolers around the tree. This guy wants to take this tree home for Christmas, and I'm not quite sure how he's going to do that yet. He needs some sort of carriage or at least some sort of quad bike to tie that down onto the back. We then have all the other vehicles and all the people queuing for the Lego store. We then have the sitcom tower with the calf and the two friends flats. The Big Bang Theory flat is coming by the end of the year, but I did want to get out this nice Christmassy scene. We got a little park with a little ice lake, a giant snowman, a nice little wide park bench, and also this little house down here decked up for Christmas and with a fully furnished interior where Santa's dropping off a present for the children. So I'm very happy with how the city has come along, and it's come along so far so quickly as well. You can see I've got all these different road signs down in the city. There's even one underneath the truck there, and there's just so much detail that goes into such a packed space. This is a Calyx unit from IKEA, and all I've done is taken out the middle wall in each of these 4 sections. You can see just down here where I've got a few of my other bits on display, that is 2 sections wide, and I've just removed the middle bit so I can fit a base plate. It's just smaller than 2 base plates. It's 48 studs deep exactly, which is lovely, but it's only about 44 studs wide. So in taking out this middle wall, I've got a 48 by 48 base plate and enough space for just shorter than another one. I think there's enough space for a 48 by 32 and then this sort of cut up 6 wide plate just here, which is very nice with the rock wall because it means you can just slide it out, and vice versa with Minecraft. I'll probably have something similar happening here with a big mountain going up the side that's only 6 plates wide. But that is my big 4 displays, and I am really impressed with how they've turned out, especially getting all my Star Wars minifigs on display. These were all boxed up a few months ago, but let's take a look at the dioramas and then I'll wrap up this video. And as you can see, the sun is shining, so I'm sorry if it distorts the camera a little bit, but I wanted to get a bit of sunlight in and just show off these sets in their natural lighting. Now, of course, you don't want to keep Lego sets in the light, so this room doesn't see too much light because it just bleaches the bricks over time and probably also weakens them as they're built out of an ABS plastic, which just doesn't react too well to the sunlight. I mean, it holds up pretty well, but if you leave it in the sun for extended periods of time, the bricks just start going white and they start all melting together, and especially some of the thinner bricks will just start bending in ways they shouldn't. But you can see we've got my recent Sonic diorama on top that I made using 2 of the new Sonic sets and took some inspiration from the Lego Idea sets. Really cool. All of these have their own videos. All of them are out. We also have the holiday diorama that I mocked out myself. I mean, the set was only £25, but I just wanted to see what I could do with it and add a bit more than Lego's model. We then have the most expensive diorama I probably will ever create. It cost me £320 to build this Mos Eisley diorama, but it's got all the minifigures, or at least space for all the minifigures from the actual set. You can see Luke and Kenobi are missing there because I think Kenobi's on my minifigure stand that you saw a second ago, and Luke's in his land speeder on my shelf. We then have a Fallen Order diorama down there. Really impressed with how that turned out, and there's also a little bit of snow on it, so I guess it's sort of like a Christmas diorama. And then right at the bottom we have the Emperor's throne room. Vader's currently sat in the throne, but that is about to be torn down for a smaller diorama, so it frees up a spot for another diorama to come either at the end of the month or in the new year. So keep an eye out for another diorama, and of course I want to create a few more mechs before the year is up. And that is all for today's video. This video is just as much for showing you all my different displays and how I organise my Lego as it is for me next year. Hopefully we can come back, compare my display next Christmas to the one this year, and hopefully see how much it's improved, or vice versa, see how much it really hasn't changed. Hopefully I am able to make a bit more use of all my space. You can see my dioramas are quite literally just here to my right, so I do want to mount them up somewhere and definitely get a few different Lego things on the walls around me, because I've got so much wall space that I can see. Even on that bottom shelf there's just so many short mocks and creations. I'd rather hang them from the shelf above than make them take up that much space on the floor. So over the next year I hope to just multi-layer my mocks a bit more, get a few minifigures out, and hopefully create that massive Clone Wars scale battle, which honestly is probably going to take about a year's work. So I'll be working on that hopefully come the new year. As soon as that new battle pack, I'll review it, I'll definitely mock it out and see what other modifications I can make to the actual set. And do stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of that, any other reviews. We've got so many sets in the January wave. I've seen so many people make videos and then a day or two later or even a week later, a whole new wave of sets gets released for another theme. I'm holding out till the last Tuesday of the month just for you, just so one video is so much easier than making so many more. So you'll get that one video the final Tuesday of December. I think that ends up being like Boxing Day or something. So stay tuned for then. And of course, the 1st of January, I'll be going over in as much detail as I can all the different sets that are coming out that day, even though I'm not having them in person. I'll just be looking over online, getting all the minifigures, getting all the exclusive pieces, and just really trying to make it an all-in-one video for you. So if you want to know about the January sets, last Tuesday of December and January 1st, you won't want to miss it. Do drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, and if you want to see the process of how I organise them, because honestly, I think for the most part, I just emptied these all onto my bed and gave them a quick little dust down, nothing too special, and just started piecing them back like some sort of complicated jigsaw. And as I said at the start of the video, it did take a few attempts to get them the way I wanted. But if you want to see the whole process, let me know. Next time I'll do a bit more of an in-depth video. I think this video's gone on long enough, but that is for you to decide. If you enjoy watching it, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and may the bricks be with you always.